Time is almost over for souls to be saved according to the Bible. The coming of the Lord, the rapture, seems much closer than we first believed. Comparing current and recent events with Bible prophecy indicate that the rapture could be just a few months away. We are not taking chances. We are warning people to come out of their worldly ways and the practices of the fallen church. Also, we are warning those that know that both are wrong, but stay back in the shadows rather than joining in the fight for truth. If Jesus and the New Testament apostles did not teach what you are being taught, then that can send you to the eternal lake of fire rather than God's eternal kingdom. Therefore, come out of churches that teach your soul is saved even though you commit sin. Come out of churches that emphasize material prosperity. Come out of churches that seek to move you emotionally,
What are you saying, brother?
but leave you without proper understanding of the Bible and without real spiritual power.
But we have to realize, though, that it's to our advantage to renew in our lives the crucifixion and the resurrection every day. That's what's required to obtain and maintain our spiritual life and to overcome all the challenges that we face. We're faced with many challenges today. This is not an entertainment hour. This is the most serious subject that you could possibly ever encounter in this world. And no one is exempt from a need to understand, appreciate, and take advantage of the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus Christ. And young people, don't be fooled. Do not be deceived in thinking somehow that because you're young, you have an exemption from the need to know God and to serve Him all the days of your life, every day. You owe it to God. This is His planet, because you're not exempt. I mean, let me tell you, hell is just around the corner for everybody if you're not really walking with God. It's just that close. You know, people are dying of all ages these days. And you have to know that. What I have here, first of all, is just a little brief PowerPoint, first of all, to try to help everybody get their minds and heart in sync while there's time to do so. Time is short, time is running out. It's been a long time since Jesus suffered the crucifixion and went thereby into death and defeated death. And why has He been waiting so long, you might say? For people to get saved. 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 15 says that the long suffering or the waiting of the Lord is for salvation, to allow people the time to wake up and abandon their dead end pursuits. And there are many today, especially cell phones, and texting is one of probably the most outrageous dead end pursuit that has come along, and has captured the minds of people of all ages, and especially young people. But as the Bible says in the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 1, you as a young person are supposed to remember your Creator in the days of your youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw near, when you will say, if you live long enough, if you live long enough, you'll get as old as me if you're fortunate. Okay? If you're blessed, you will. No matter what your age is, if you live long enough, you can get as older and older than me. Okay? Then what you're going to have going for yourself. You see, when you run out of fantasy, run out of foolishness, When you realize it wasn't anything of any value at all, you finally begin to realize. But you're supposed to come to this realization while you are young. There's nothing better to do with one's life while you are in life than to serve God. Now, if you really go about it the right way, not just some kind of rote church-going exercise, where you really put your whole heart, your mind into it and seeking God until you find Him and He'll light up your life and give you a resurrection experience of a personal nature. He'll give you a personal resurrection experience. That's what everybody needs. Because remember, the personal, without a personal resurrection experience, as I said, hell is right around the corner. Hell is right around the corner. You're just a heartbeat away from, a missed heartbeat away from eternity. Y'all hear me? And that goes for everybody. And so you have to make sure then you really have your mind on the right thing with this opportunity that God has given you. He gives us even the breath to breathe. Now this little PowerPoint though is to try to help people get in sync. It's called Urgency to Become Saved for everybody. It's an urgent need for everybody to become saved. And it's your personal choice. Nobody can make you be saved. God doesn't try to make anybody be saved. Definitely I can't. But I want to give you the information because God commands me to give the information out. Okay? You have to become born again. It's on the screen, by the way. You have to become born again. And then you have to prepare yourself to really do the work of God in your life. Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman. That's what you should be busy with, not all this texting unless you're texting some scriptures to people and telling them they need to give their life to God. That's the best thing you can do for anybody. So all this being inundated, immersed in foolishness is really not doing you or anybody else that you're helping the process do any good. But you have to be approved unto God, a workman that needs not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth, rightly understanding the word of truth. And that's from 2 Timothy 2:15. Then you go forth to serve the Lord. This is what time is for. You get your, number one, get yourself saved and help other people get saved because time is running out. Mark 16:15, and he, that is Jesus, said unto them, go you into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. That means every person. That's what we all are committed and commanded to do. Because as this clip here shows, time is running out. So this is from one of the secular news channels. As I say, these things are happening. The signs of the end times, the four horsemen of the apocalypse, as they're called. They are already in motion, or have been in motion for some time. Now, if you're too involved with other issues, with friends, texting and all this, it's not going to mean a thing to you. You won't even be aware of how close the end seems to be. You'll be lost. As Jesus said, some people will be going about business as usual when he finally splits the sky. And so you have to be sure that you're not one of that type. And so as I say, we're talking about the resurrection of Jesus Christ, how important it is. But you have to put it in context. Have to put it in the context of what's really happening in your life personally, and also what's happening in a global sense, from the individual level to the global level, all over the world. There's a need for people to wake up and understand the value in what Jesus has done and allowed himself to be put to death by crucifixion, and then also defeating death by his resurrection from the grave. And so then we have to make sure we all take note of that, because people are suffering across this globe like never before, especially where the wars are going on in Syria, in Iraq, and the other insurgencies in other countries like in Libya and many other places. Men, women, and children are dying in unmerciful ways. And so we in this country think we are exempt, but we're not. It's just the time hasn't came yet for judgment to fall on this country, but it will.